Well, hello chaps, it's Commodore Graham here, and welcome to a tutorial and showcase for the Minecraft mod Cooking for Blockheads. In the context of Pam's Harvestcraft, which is also sort of featured in this video. Here's all the Pam's Harvestcraft crops, all of the different fruit and nut trees, etc. That's where the ingredients come from. Now, you don't need Pam's Harvestcraft in order to use Cooking for Blockheads, but I think that Cooking for Blockheads was designed with Pam's Harvestcraft in mind. So, let's have a look at this. As you can see, it enables you to build a whole bunch of new blocks to make a multi-block kitchen, and all of this is connected for the purposes of its functions. But we'll get to that in a moment. First, we need to go over how you actually get started with this mod in the first place. So, what you need is a book. And, oh, where is it? A book, a piece of coal, and a furnace. So, you literally cook the books, which amuses me no end, in order to get this book here, Cooking for Blockheads 1. Now, what this does is it enables you to see what cooking recipes you can craft with the items that you have in your inventory. So, cooking utensils and foodstuffs. Now, at the moment, I have nothing in my inventory that I can cook with, so it's not telling me anything. So, the things I can make turn up here. The crafting recipes turn up here, and here are different tabs for sorting the recipe dictionary, as it were, otherwise known as a cookbook. So, now let's get to how you actually build a kitchen. In order to start, you need the second tier of cookbook. Cooking for Blockheads 2, as it is quite logically called. It's crafted like so, or you could say it's crafted in one of two ways, but either way you need 2 diamonds and the Cooking for Blockheads 1 book. Now, I'm just going to, let's actually craft it. There we go. Now, this book is needed in order to begin with the kitchen, to make the cooking table, because the cooking table is basically the central block of the kitchen that you do pretty much all of your crafting from. So you need hardened clay, some kind of stone, and this book in the middle. But we're going to go over all of these crafting recipes a little bit later on. Now I'm going to show you the various blocks that are part of the kitchen. So, here you have the cooking table, and since in our kitchen we have a ton of ingredients in the various kitchen counters and fridges and so forth, we can make a whole load of things, and you can either sort these ingredients by name. So if I just click on one here, it'll tell you the recipe, the things that you need, so the cooking utensils and the food ingredients themselves. So, just like so. And as you can see there, all I need to do is click again to craft something. So if I wanted some baked beans, there we go. I have some baked beans. If I shift clicked, I could have got a stack of it, assuming that I had enough ingredients in the kitchen to be able to do that. So there's an example of its usage. You can also sort the recipes available to you by the amount of hunger they restore. So you get, very filling things like a beef Wellington and a footlong and bacon wrapped dates and the like. And again, you just access all the recipes like so, and you can make whatever you like. Let's make ourselves some dim sum. Why not? So there. So you need all of these things already in your kitchen, obviously. You can also sort the recipes by how much saturation they replenish. So so there's that. So it's very, very useful for crafting because, oh, wait a minute. Let's clear the weather up. Might as well set it to the start of the day whilst we're at it. Because the thing about Pam's Harvestcraft is, oops-a-daisy, is that there are a lot of recipes in Pam's Harvestcraft. There's a lot of stuff to learn. If I start scrolling down, we're going to start getting to the various things that you can cook. And as you can see, there's page after page of it. So, and especially when you're starting off and you don't have very many ingredients, it can be kind of difficult to figure out what you can make with what's available to you. And just the cookbook itself helps with that. If you're carrying the ingredients, but obviously you have to be carrying the ingredients. The kitchen allows you to have access to everything that you own all at once. So, what else? I think that's about it for the cooking table, more or less. Next we have the oven. Now, the oven's pretty fantastic. What it amounts to is a very fast and efficient furnace that can only cook food items. So, if I wanted a stack of baked potatoes, a stack of toast out of the bread, and like a stack of pork chops, all I'd need to do is put them in the top slots here. And then it would process them 9 at a time and put them into these output slots. Oh, and by the way, there are storage slots for the various different things you'd use in the oven, the various different, what's the word? Utensils, right here. So you can store them there and they appear on top of the oven, as you can see. But we're going to do this via the cooking table. So we are actually going back to it. Let's say we want a stack of pork chops. And now it says click again to cook, not to craft. So I'm going to shift click and cook a whole stack. As you can see, the oven's activated because a stack of pork chops have gone in. So you can see they're cooking 9 at a time. They're gradually turning into pork chops and then they come out here. So let's do the same thing again, but with baked potatoes. So click to see the recipe and shift click to cook a stack. Yeah, we have baked potatoes in there now. And I'm going to do the same with a stack of bread here. So let's make toast. The ingredient is it's just cooked bread. So I've shift clicked. And now automatically all of this stuff will get cooked in the oven, which is pretty amazing. And it's very efficient in its use of coal. As you can see, I'm most of the way through a stack of pork chops already, and I haven't even used, 3 pieces of coal yet. Is that right? Yeah, like about 2.5, something like that. So as you can see, after it's finished with the pork chops, it starts cooking the potatoes as well. So it's got... it had both in at once. It's just when it runs out of one stack, it automatically shifts on to the other. So, and you can see the potatoes in the oven there, which is pretty cute. You can even see what stage of cooking they're at, I think. Now, what else? When it comes to actually processing items, why is this? Oh, I thought it had stopped. There is another way of making toast. It's a bit more of a novelty way of making toast in some sense, because it's not nearly as fast as this. Although it doesn't cost you any fuel. You use the toaster here. You can put 2 pieces of bread in at a time just by right-clicking. And if you right click again, the toast pops down, tells you how close it is to being cooked, and it'll just pop out of there. The actual items will pop out. So you need to collect them before they despawn. And what else? Right. Okay, there's the sink, which if you just right click on it, you get fun little splashes, but that's about it. But if I get myself into survival mode, you can also use it as an infinite water source. You can get as much water out of this as you could possibly ever require. So there's that. It provides water for recipes to the cooking table, I believe. And there are a couple of other things that it can do as well. Let's grab a piece of wool and, oh, I need a couple of other things too. So if we pop into, oh, I just heard our toast popping up. So let's grab that. So there we go, 2 pieces of toast. We need, let's grab another piece of pink here, just because. Whoops. And also a leather tunic. So if we happened, oh wait. If we happened to craft ourselves a lovely pink tunic and decided we didn't like it after all, you can actually rinse the dye off using the sink, which is pretty neat. There we go. I like the sound effect too. And also, if you want to turn coloured wool back into white wool, you can do the same thing. Just right click on the sink with it and there you go. White tunic, or rather uncoloured tunic, and white wool. So, I guess what I should do now is cover the mechanics of how this works as a multi-block thing. So, in order to be able to access all your ingredients and so forth, all the blocks have to be connected up to each other in some way or another. Now you can see I've got kind of a U shape going on here, so all of these are already connected. Like these are connected horizontally. The fridges have some vertical connection going on. The same with the tool racks, because they're directly above, or counted as being directly above, say, the sink here. Oh, one thing that I should mention, and we're going to have to go back into creative. The fridge block. Whoop, I can't spell apparently. You can actually just make a 1 block high fridge. Whoops-a-daisy. And it will have half the storage space. It's kind of just like chests and double chests. And then if you put another one on top, there you go. So, in terms of storage solutions generally, and let's get rid of some of this nonsense. The fridges and the kitchen counters are pretty much the same thing, except the fridges can be stacked too high, whereas the kitchen counters can't, or at least they don't do anything special when you stack them, like join together like these fridge blocks. Let's actually just test that out. There we go. Whoops. Banged my microphone stand there. You probably heard that. So if I stick this here, I mean, you can put it on top of there and it's still connected, but the inventories aren't connected like they are with the fridge. There's nothing special about the fridge other than that. There isn't any sort of food chilling mechanic or anything of that sort, because the food just doesn't decay. Other storage blocks, aside from... Oh god, got to sort the weather out again. There we go. Aside from the fridge and the kitchen counter are the milk jar, which stores only milk. So if we grab ourselves here an empty bucket and a milk bucket, we can grab a bucket's worth of milk, which is 1,000 millibuckets, as it were. And then, you know, same thing, just right click with a milk bucket if you want to store milk. We also have these spice racks, which are kind of like very small chests. So I've put, you know, everything that I consider that you could classify as a spice in here. You can see it only stores 9 stacks. I've put my coffee and tea up here. It's kind of cute. And we also have the the cow in a jar. So the cow in a jar stores the same amount of milk as the milk jar does, but it's got a tiny cow in it which gradually produces more milk. So if you look at how that's actually made, there isn't a crafting recipe as such. There's just kind of a hint. So what you basically do is put a milk jar under a cow and then drop an anvil on the cow. So we have our test subject here. I'm going to call her Millie. And Millie's going in this jar. Sorry, Millie. So there we go. And we get the anvil back. There's a little pop. And Millie shows up here. And as you can see, she's already starting to build up milk around her feet in the jar there. Let's change our game mode back to survival so we can pick this up. There we go. And pop Millie here so that our original cow in a jar can have a friend. As you can see, we lost the milk we'd already built up, but that'll be replenished again in no time. So, oh, right, yeah, I was talking about the connection between the blocks, how everything has to be connected. Now, you might have a kitchen where not all of the blocks are connected in this sort of way, but you still want to be able to access everything from the cooking table. So all you have to do is make sure it's connected by these special kitchen floor blocks. As you can see, I've got them underneath all of these counters and underneath the oven and fridge and so forth. So even if we knocked out, say, the oven, which I'm not going to do, all of the rest of the blocks would still be connected via the kitchen floor blocks. So that's neat. So this isn't just for decorative purposes. This is part of the functionality of the whole thing. Oh, the final bit of storage here is the tool rack. And each tool rack will store 2 kitchen utensils. So here we have all the utensils that aren't used in the oven. The, what is it? The cutting board, mixing bowl, mortar and pestle and juicer. And all the rest, as I say, you can store those in, or rather on, the oven. So this stuff is just spare. It's just for show, really, just for decoration. You only really need to have 2 tool racks in a kitchen, as long as you've got an oven to store the other stuff. So let's see. Is there anything else I should be mentioning? I've got a little list here. Ah, right. There's also, if I go back into the books here, there's a no filter edition of the book, of the Cooking for Blockheads 1 book, that is. Do we still have one of those around? Yes, we do. So what this does is, as it says, it just shows all food recipes without paying attention to whether or not you have the ingredients that you need. It'll just show you everything. So if you happen, say, not to have just enough items and you wanted a catalogue of all of the food recipes, you can have that. All you need to do is take Cooking for Blockheads 1, put it in your crafting square, and there you go. And if you want to... Oh, we need a piece of coal. Luckily, we can do that. Oh, and as you can see, it only took, including this one, it only took 8 pieces of coal to cook 3 stacks. So that's, I guess, 3 times as efficient as normal. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, pretty sure that's right. So that's not bad at all. If you ever need to cook anything that's a food item, you definitely want to be using the cooking oven. Now, you can convert the no filter edition back just by cooking it. So that's great. Now, let's pop back into Creative to grab a couple of things that we need. Grab some red dye, some bone meal. Yes. So there you go. We have our Cooking for Blockheads 1 book back. Before I do the next bit, I should mention that there are these kitchen corner blocks. I've got one here, here, and here, which are just kind of for connecting things up in the places where it makes sense to have corners. And as you can see, it's got trim on 2 of the sides. In order to place this block, for instance, I stood here, so it places the trim on the side that's opposite you and on the left-hand side, it seems. Let's set it back to the start of the day. There we go. Now then, where was I? Oh yes, you can dye all of these things because they're mostly made out of stained clay, not all of them. So if you wanted a red kitchen, or at least a kind of slightly orangey red because of the because of the already existing color of the hardened clay, you can do that. You can see you get a less orangey red on the fridge. And you know, this can be any color you want except for white, because all bone meal does is removes the color. So if I click again, it doesn't turn into white stained clay or anything like that. So there you go. You can remove the paint or stain or whatever else. And you know, so there's we missed a bit. So there's a lot of customizability for your kitchens. You can make them various different configurations. You know, this isn't the only way you can set it up. You can do it in lots of different ways. This is just the kind of pattern that appealed to me, as long as it's all connected up in some way or another by, say, kitchen floor blocks. Or I suppose you could even put an extra kitchen counter sort of above the tool rack. Let's do that. Why not? Oh, we already have one of those in our inventory. So let's, if I click on the top of this. Oh, that kind of didn't quite work, did it? Yeah, so if you wanted cabinets above your tool racks as well, you can do that. That's pretty nice. And this will all be connected as well through the tool rack. So if I put some sort of food stuff in here, it should be accessible via the cooking table. So great. Now, let me see. Let me have a look at my little list here. Is there anything else that I wanted to mention? No, I think that's about it. The only thing remaining to do really is to show you all the recipes. You know, you can access all these through just enough items, but you might not have just enough items installed. So I'm going to spend a couple of seconds on each of these. So the most important block is the cooking table. That's what you do basically all your crafting food recipes through. All you need for that is hardened clay, some kind of stone, and the Cooking for Blockheads 2 book. Oh, excuse me. The oven is a similar shape of recipe, kind of, except you need iron, a furnace, and specifically black stained glass, it seems. It's not cycling between different colours, so it must require black stained glass. The fridge is kind of simpler. It's just a chest and an iron door. The sink is, well, this makes sense. Metal for the sink top, hardened clay for the base, and then a water bucket. You need iron nuggets for the tool rack. So this is all pretty cheap to get. The recipe for the toaster is pretty cute because it involves a lava bucket. I'd love to have a toaster that used lava. Aside from that, you just need iron and a bit of stone for a button. So an iron trapdoor right here. The milk jar, just any kind of glass, any kind of wood for the stopper, and a milk bucket in the middle. So you need to have found cows at the very least, obviously. But then if you hadn't found cows, there wouldn't be much point in having a milk jar anyway, because you'd have nothing to put in it. The cow in a jar, I've already showed you how to make one of those with the assistance of our dear friend Millie. The spice rack is just, you just put a slab in the crafting square. Kitchen counter is similar to the cooking table, except instead of the book, you just have a chest. The kitchen corner, the chest just gets replaced with hardened clay. The kitchen floor, I guess you need to have gone to the Nether for this. Or maybe you can get the quartz from a witch farm or something. Witches drop quartz, don't they, sometimes? Anyway, or am I on crack? Never mind. So you just any kind of quartz block and coal block here. And because you have 4 blocks here, you get 4 blocks out of it. So it's sort of expensive-ish, but not too bad. And then you have the books. I've already showed you how to make this. You just put the first cooking book in your crafting square and you convert it back, if you want, by cooking it. Or you can cook a normal book to get the first one here. And the second book, you take the first cooking book and put diamonds here and here and crafting tables here and here. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to take just a second to try to think if there's anything else that I've missed. No. I think that pretty much covers everything. So there you go. That's Cooking for Blockheads for Minecraft 1.11.2. For use with Pam's Harvestcraft. It may work with other food-related mods. I'm not really certain. Pam's Harvestcraft is the main one that I've used. But yeah, this is kind of the first in a series of videos that I'm going to be making that's sort of related. I'm going to take a couple of videos to go over Pam's Harvestcraft because it sort of goes along with this. Because there's probably too much stuff in Pam's Harvestcraft to cover it in a single video. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, yes, hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was useful. Oh, God. This weather. There we go. Yeah, if you did enjoy it, do please click the like button. It helps out rather a lot. Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comment section below. Share this video with anyone you think might be interested, entertained, or informed. And subscribe if, but only if, you'd like to see more. Ta-ta for now, chaps.